You know that little sound effect? Folks, we love to decode the body language of the candidates with body language experts. It's always interesting. These guys are fascinating. They really can see a lot that, untrained observers can't. This is Gregory Hartley. He is a behavior and body language expert. He was on the show last week. We really liked him. He's a former U.S. Army interrogator. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me back.
You bet. You bet. All right. First off, Kamala Harris laughing her head off at things that weren't funny. Let's play that first in regular time.
People, Susan, are voting right now. They'd like to know if you and Joe Biden are going to pack the Supreme Court if you don't get your way in this nomination.
Let's talk about packing.
You once again gave a non-answer. Joe Biden gave a non-answer.
Trying to answer you now.
All right, she didn't exactly laugh her head off, but she was smiling and kind of laughing. What's happening there? And I'd like to see it in slow motion as you decode this for us, Mr. Hartley.
Yeah, so when people are really smiling, they involve these little muscles around your eyes and drag that up, and it makes kind of a wrinkle. It's why we have all these crow's feet over years of smiling. Those are orbicularis oculi. Those little muscles are engaged when you're really smiling. You can see her lower face is smiling, her eyes aren't. So that's not a real smile. Her blink rate is also up, and that's nervous smile when you see that. Then you see her eyes start to close, and she legitimately goes into a smile as she pushes him away, figuratively with her hands. But you can also see she's barriered him, and a barrier is simply putting something between me and the threat. So I have my hands all gripped together to keep you at distance.
You know, I am going to say one thing, though. I think she's kind of, in a weird way, kind of playful. Like this is a bit of a game for her. I see kind of genuine, I don't know if it's flirtation or something like that. You know, her eyes seem to be smiling as well.
Well, here's the thing with her. Watch, she's trying to set up something she's already prepared, and you'll see it. And the minute she realizes she has him, the Lincoln story, she does a very good job of really genuinely smiling and engaging him. And I do think she's been a prosecutor for a lot of her life, and that is its own form of presentation. So she's got her stuff together in terms of that.
Okay, next up, and I do not think this was, well, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. She did one of these routines, and but she sometimes was laughing and sometimes was mad when she did it. Let's go ahead and hit it, please.
And if you haven't figured it out yet, the straight answer is they are going to pack the Supreme Court if they somehow win this election. Men and women, I got to tell you, people across this country, if you cherish our Supreme Court, if you cherish the separation of powers, you need to reject the Biden-Harris ticket.
All right. Back to her, if we can, in slow motion. All right. What does it mean? Quite frankly, if a man laughed like that and did all that stuff with their hands, I think that'd be an issue, more so than it is for her. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think you see a lot of times women especially will brace as they're waiting for you to finish and encourage you to talk and keep moving and go faster. But in this case, if you watch what she does with her hands start to brace and her chin drops to protect her throat. That's discomfort. Joe Navarro, the godfather of all body language, will call the suprasternal notch here, this little divot. Anytime you're protecting that or touching your neck, it shows discomfort. And it's just biology. It's us protecting ourselves. And as you further watch her, you'll notice her face starting to change. Her face draws and gets longer. It doesn't look happy. She grims her mouth a little. And then her blink rate goes up. And then she suddenly remembers something, or maybe doesn't suddenly, but she's waiting for the opportunity to deliver that part about 50 judges and not one black judge. So then you see the smile, the real smile with her face lighting up and her teeth come out. And then she delivers her line. You know what happens to me and other people? I got the Adam's apple, and when I can see it in a guy, if they're nervous and they swallow, and I sometimes cover it up because I get, I don't want anybody to know I'm freaking out, but it happens sometimes. All right. I thought this was not good at all. She overreacted. Watch.
Said because the president wanted people to remain calm.
Well, let's get
no, but Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I want to add, but Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Overdone. But that's what she lives for. Forgive me, but I think scolding men is something that she specializes in and really likes to do. Let's roll it in slow motion. What do you think, Greg?
So this is the prosecutor. If you watch everything she does, she even controls with that weird little smile where she brings her brows up. I call it the De Niro smile. When she's doing that, she looks like Robert De Niro in Goodfellas just before you get the bat. And her brows are up. and her face is making some kind of a smile, it's a controlling thing. That's a regulator and a control of a conversation. And then when she turns and says, I'm talking, that's just establishing control. And so that she can turn and use all that coaching. And you can clearly see the same coach Biden had here as she puts both hands together and goes into the televangelist mode and starts to talk directly to the camera. She set all that up.
Greg Hartley, I want to put up, as we say goodbye, Mike Pence. And there's really not much to decode there. We know somebody who's calm. We know somebody who's strong. I mean, the guy was just so in control of himself and of the situation. I thought, there's nothing to really decode there, right? Very quickly.
Yeah, he has some of the most metered body language you'll ever see. And the only stress I can see in him is when he crosses his hands and mills his thumbs. And the other thing is one of his eyes gets smaller, his left eye gets smaller, and his right eye goes larger when he's showing any emotion. That's about all I saw from him the entire time.
Wow.
Very
all
controlled.
Right. Gregory Hartley, we appreciate it very much. Behavior and body language expert. Thank you, sir.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.